going to look like when I go back to Kenya? It might be the Mau Mau. If I go back to Ghana, it might be boycotts and strikes, which they call the positive action campaigns. It might be in Frelimo, in Mozambique, and in Angola, where we may have to arm ourselves because them Portuguese ain't giving up rape. We're going to have to fight for our liberation. And in each case, as I said, 2/3 of the African continent saw its independence. That's when we were serious about our freedom. When we decided to meet, to gather, to organize, to unite. What's so strange about that? Why can't we do that today? Because today we're complacent with our own self-destruction. We're used to it. I mean, how many times, what was it, 20 years ago, Sally Struthers was holding those babies up and talking about, you know, how she could help African babies. And we're like, ooh, poor African babies. When you have homeless in your own neighborhood, when you have drug addicts, you know, and homeless laying in your own communities. We're immune to it. 90,000 homeless people in downtown Los Angeles where I work. And, you know, most of the time we just walk by. Some of us carry fruit or we go back and try to give folks stuff because we know they don't have anything to eat. But beyond that, we're not doing anything. We're complacent with homelessness, with rape, with abuse, with torture. You know, a lot of times I even hear, in terms of the issue of abuse, when a brother's beating down a sister, well, what did she say? I mean, what was the situation with Homegirl and Chris? Yeah. Like, oh, you know, she must have gave him some mouth. I mean, our mentality is just used to violence. All of the wars that have gone on, that's just the way the society is. We are psychologically traumatized, African people. Brothers and sisters, and those of other races as well. We are traumatized, and we must wake up if we want a new world, if we want a new society. If your mother was out there being beaten and raped and stabbed, would you just walk by and let that happen? Would you? No. Well, Africa is our mother. Africa is the mother of civilizations, it's the birthplace of all civilization. And it is going to be the new frontier if we let Afrikaans and any other goals and plans come in, and China has its plans, and everybody has its plan, because the last frontier of oil and uranium and manganese and all of the other minerals that are, you know, feeding atomic energy, nuclear energy, cell phones, computers, are in Africa. But Africa is our home. African people aren't the poorest people in the world. We're the most disorganized people. We are actually rich. It is our culture that gets mimicked around the world. I can go to a little country called Guinea-Bissau and see Biggie and Tupac t-shirts. Folks with bandanas, and they're speaking in Portuguese. They don't know what they're saying. But we also have to talk to our people from the real, as my son says. Ice has his poem, and he talks about how we communicate. He says, you know, we're just not communicating right. He was talking about how this youth is in the hood, and he's running, and he sees the police behind him, and he jumps over a fence, and the police can't catch him because the police is fat and slow. Another bunch of youth are in the classroom, and they got these tight backpacks. They matching their clothes though, but it ain't nothing in them because them books are fat and slow. The youth are listening to beats, and they listening to rap, and they listening to hip hop, and they listening to folks that's saying, June, July, and August, my ride is looking flawless. June, July, and August, my ride is looking flawless. What you listening to is fat and slow. What he's saying is that what we're communicating, even in the revolutionary community, the progressive community. We keep talking about isms and schisms. But our behavior and what we do is fat and slow. We ain't coming with the real. We need to be about what we say we're going to be about. Right. Whatever problems we say are existing in the community, we need to meet tomorrow and start planning what we can do about them.
Yes, about it.
We shouldn't leave this weekend unless everybody is a part of some action plan to mentor some youth, to clean up our community, to have Saturday schools, to educate us for all the miseducation our youth is getting in the public areas. So that they can know that their people built the first civilizations that everybody is following behind, and that they are the potential for the next civilization. Because what we in today, brothers and sisters, is not civilized. Y'all are the next generation. Live long and prosper for you, Trinity. But y'all are the next generation. They are expecting to recruit you into the enemy's army to become a part of the lost children of capitalism, knowing you're not going to have a job, knowing it ain't going to position for you, knowing it ain't nothing upwardly mobile about colonialism and capitalism.
Right.
Okay? But the potential for you raising up a nation with your own jobs, with your own industry, with your own technology, with your own schools and institutions. There's no limits for our people once we start investing in ourselves, in our nation, in our territories. And even those territories where we are dominant now, these should be our territories. And we shouldn't ask for them. We should move action towards taking them.
I say!
African Liberation Day, brothers and sisters, is actually a pivotal point where we celebrate all we've done all year. In the All-African People's Revolutionary Party, we do programs every month on the college campus and in the community, political education programs. We go to the community, we at the open mic spaces, we're on the campus, we're doing programs, we're at City Hall, we're protesting. Yes, we celebrate with the Irish because we got that in common. The Irish were the first colony that Europe had. And the Irish have celebrated African Liberation Day with us for the last 25 years. Yes, the Palestinians are our brothers and sisters. You talked about Zionism. Zionism is apartheid. Is it real?
No doubt.
Or what they call Israel? Is it real? That's apartheid. That's the Palestinians' land.
That's right.
The Western Hemisphere, the indigenous people, left on reservations, on welfare, strapped with alcoholism. That's apartheid. Call it what it is. But liberation is what we must have. What we must be about is truth, justice, reciprocity, harmony, balance, righteousness. And that means, brothers, you must love us sisters. And sisters, we must love ourselves. There will be no freedom, nowhere, unless sisters stand up and get in the front lines.